Kia ora and welcome to the Can Podcast. I'm the host, Warwick Slow, and today's guest is Sam Kodi, who's been on the podcast before. But today, we're going to be talking about how to do 300K API as an insurance advisor without working 80 hours per week. It's a really interesting episode. I think you'll love it. If you get value from this podcast, it goes a long way giving it a share or a subscribe. And hey, if you even liked it that much, a positive rating also goes a very long way. But other than that, let's jump into it. So Sam, it's been a few years since we last did a podcast together. It was October 2022, and the title of the podcast was, or I guess the topic we were talking about was outsourcing versus doing yourself. Since then, you've doubled down, and I know at the time you were working 80 hours a week.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Time runs, isn't it?
What was driving the hustle at that point in time?
It was trying to be successful, trying to do more, and also trying to do everything myself. Which was probably the struggle which I had those days. Working 80 hours, doing a lot of business, that's a different thing. But if you really look at the effectiveness, it would have been very slow when I look at it now.
And what kind of API were you writing at that time? I know you do mortgages, you do KiwiSaver as well, but specifically in the insurance space, what were you writing?
I was about consistently writing about 250 to 300,000 API right through. And I still write, but very differently.
Absolutely. I mean, are you still doing 80 hours a week?
Not really. I probably spend 40 hours with clients, and on admin and day-to-day work, probably 1 hour a day, which was the complete flip of 2022 when I met you last, because I was probably spending 15 hours of admin per day and meeting 3-4 clients a day. But now I meet lot more clients, and some I delegate to other people, and then my admin time is very, very minimal.
And how does the API or the writing volume compare from that time we spoke in October 2022 to now?
Obviously, it's increased. I have doubled my business. It's not about only API because I do mortgages and insurance as well. So the overall business volumes have gone up. API also have gone up, and things are happening quite smarter. It's not only the API which I have got over the last 2-3 years of doing what I'm doing. It's also the time which I have got for myself.
The volume, I know we were speaking more like individually before. You've got a business now, so it's a different kettle of fish. But do you find like personally you're writing more, or is it more the business as a collective is writing more?
Personally.
Yeah.
I still have, I'm the only advisor in the business. So I still write more than what I used to write with less time. And then we are starting to bring in advisors. There's one person starting next week. So then it will be effectively making them work smarter as well.
And what do you think's been the big change? Because doing, more volume, less hours in the week, has it been like a mindset thing? Has it been the team, systems? What's the difference?
Mix of both. Even if you shift your mindset, there should be people to work. So what I was very successful with lots of difficulties over a period of time is that setting up that back office that I really want. That seamless operation, which I really wanted over 6.5 years, which I built in the last 2 years, which is working really well for me, that I can close eyes and delegate things that I know it will be done. So part of it is the back office operation, which I have created, and it's working well. And part of it is mindset. Even if you have the best back office, if you're not delegating, it will not work. So mindset shift was more difficult than building back office, but I managed to do that both now.
So what is the lead to policy process like for you now, and how's that changed with this new back office support?
Theoretically, if somebody brings a lead to me, or lead comes to me for a website or a referral or whatever, I just give the details to my back office, and they start calling and booking, and then the journey starts from there. So I only see a client at a meeting booking, and there's preparations done for my meeting, and I just do the meeting, and then do a voice recording of the meeting notes, and then rest is taken care of as well. So I meet the client on the next meeting. That's how the journey works now.
And how many policies are the team handling, or like new deals are they handling a month?
We probably handle, probably 20 to 30 at the moment.
Right.
And we can do more.
Yeah, I can always do more, right? And so talking about tools and systems, you mentioned some voice recording. Are there any other tools or processes that are really helping that team hit 30 on average a month?
We have maneuvered the trail pipelines to the way my process works, which is really helpful with regard to compliance assurance and stuff like that, where you can keep doing the work ongoingly and bit of automations as well, where you don't miss things on the way. And other than that, we use few systems where it helps us to create the journey and make it very simple for the back office also. So it's a seamless operation. We use various little tools, and we have created some of our own tools as well, which helps in the bigger picture.
So you mentioned the back office support team. I know that's another business that you started called Perform.
Yeah.
Like, what were the key gaps or holes that you were looking to plug when you started that business?
I mean, I don't know whether I told you last time, I had 38 virtual assistants over last 6.5 years before I was starting Perform. And none of them worked. I mean, I know a lot of advisors have virtual assistants, but personally for me, there were some people who worked, some people not. And then most of the time it was an issue. Once you train the people, they leave, or you don't know where they are working from. The moment they switch off, you don't know where they are going. And actually, to be honest, I lost 3 laptops where I was too generous to send laptops to my back office overseas, and then next day they don't turn up. So it was not a rosy picture. So what I did was looking at the 6.5 years of all these people coming and going, including New Zealand staff. What are the gaps? What are my problems? I want to go 5 steps forward, and I'm taking that 5 back, and I'm in the same place. I can't grow like that. So then we sat and discussed what is an ultimate back office, or what is ultimate solution I need to do what I want for future. So that is how we created Perform, and Perform is not a plug-in automated system or such. It's a people who are working. It's human powered and a lot of layers of management, security, and it's a seamless operation where it's not kind of a virtual assistant service. It's a complete outsourcing service. So what happens for me in Smart Advisor, I give the job to Perform, they do the job and give it back to me. So I don't need to worry about it. And they do the job the way I tell them to do. And it's consistent.
So what sort of tasks are they doing typically?
What do they don't?
What don't they do?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, they do everything. They do everything for me. I mean, if I start from beginning, they create the CRM, they create the client, and every client is created in a very standard way. So if you look at my CRM, it's very clean and tidy, and everything is in the same way.
I'm going to go look at it after this.
Absolutely, you should.
We're
You
going to
should.
audit it.
Yeah. So everything is seamless, and we link even their social links to our CRM. So we know everything about the client in the CRM. And then they create the client, they call the client, book the appointments, follow up things, and they do my transcribes. They send the meeting copies to the client, and then they do post-meeting work, statement of advice, research. So everything is done for me to check only. So everything is neat and tidy. On top of that, they do day-to-day management of the clients, because what happens is we are only talking about mostly talking about new business. But when you grow, you have an existing book to look after. You can't neglect that. So there's a lot of admin work which is happening in a day-to-day basis, changing direct debits, arrears management, claims, pipeline management. So all those things are done by the team, and they pre-populate the e-app for me. So I just need to do the medical questions, and moment I finish the e-app, they start underwriting with my underwriters in the providers. So they do everything. They do negotiation of the terms, and they put all those things what they can do to me, and then if I need more, I will go back. So 80% of my work, or probably 90% of my work, is done. And then before they close the file for me, they go and check whether everything is there, compliance is there. Uh, we have everything which we discussed in place, statement of advice, scope of engagement, everything is signed there. And then also what they do for me is that they identify cross-selling opportunities. If they find a client has done the mortgage, not the insurance, okay, Visaver, they create a task for me. And then they follow up, book a meeting to discuss that. So in the business, it's a kind of a operation which works seamlessly, where I don't need to worry about it, and I know everything is done.
And it takes a while to get to that point. There's three key areas, and you mentioned a little bit about it before. What does security and compliance and training look like when you're looking at offshore staff? Because you said you've had a lot through the years. How do you structure it in a way that
Very
works?
good question, because that's something which I actually lacked when I was starting to recruit people from overseas countries. You don't know who they are, and then it didn't work for me taking direct people. Then I went through recruitment agencies, and then I all of a sudden realized the recruitment managers sit with you and understand your position, and then they create CVs, and then they train staff, and they're very good in interviews. More come and sit, they can't do anything, right? So by that time, we have paid the recruitment fee, and also I had instances where people are working really well. They've been taken and planted in another business, because recruitment companies can make another chunk of money. Now these people are trained. So there was so much of issues which I personally face. I mean, this may not be for other people, but again, that's my personal thing. So what we do in Aperform, or my back office, there, we have a team of recruiters. We do criminal checks, police checks, bankruptcy checks, and then before they come and sit in the employment, they need to go through 4 weeks of training. So first week is about New Zealand culture. First couple of days, they need to pass the New Zealand privacy law exam, and they need to give us the certificate. And then we train on New Zealand culture, because it's important to know what times people work, how do you address people, what are the distances with these advisors travel to meet clients. So those kind of things they need to know. So once they do that, we take them through a series of trainings for especially for insurances. There's 4 weeks of training. Every week on Friday, on that 4 weeks, they need to pass an exam 90%. So if they don't get 90%, they will be out. So if they move to the second week, 90% again, otherwise they will be out. So they will be 90%, 90%, 90% in 4 weeks, and then only they get the job. And then we plant them in the back office, where they work with other people, other staff who are aligned to businesses, and then they'll learn the processes and work with them. So by the time you are assigned to an advisor, you know exactly what an insurance company portal will be. What's a claim? How do you do that? What's a statement of advice? What are the things which you do? But that is the basic training which we do, so people are ready to be plugged into an advisor business. Then if an advisor comes and wants the services, we do a onboarding process, where we don't change advisors CRMs or processes or anything. We adapt to their needs and the way they do things. So that is how we build the platform, and it works for the people who are working with us.
And how's the feedback been from advisors?
Brilliant. So it has given them time, it has given them scale, and everybody has done lots of other things, like they have done a lot of projects with our teams as well, because there's so many things which you can do: campaigns, projects, social media, whatever you want to do, your team is ready to do, and things which bothers advisors. For example, I used to go for a lot of seminars, conferences like MDRT or whatever. When you go, you take lots and lots of notes, right? How many people go back and implement them? So now what I do, I go and take few notes. I tell my relationship manager on the back office, I need this done. Simple as that. So every business, including my business, Smart Advisor business, through Aperform, I have a relationship manager from that side, and I have a business analyst. So which is very, very important, because what business analyst does is they look through the operations which we do, and see whether there's efficiencies which we can improve. So which is very important for any business.
It takes time to get that lateral thinking. And I know you mentioned before it can be good at an interview, but when it comes to common sense, maybe
Absolutely.
lacking. Yeah, I guess you've gone through the process of how you train and get into that point. But yeah, how many have you got in the team now?
We have close to 30 now. We started with 5 about 12 months ago, but it's building.
Well
It's
done.
building.
And what are you finding? Are there any tasks that you're finding you still can't quite delegate that you have to do outside of giving advice, of course?
Simply no. Simply no.
Can't make your coffee in the morning.
I'm over
That's
it actually. Just that sometimes I feel, okay, is the pipeline moving? So I have assigned one staff who is a little bit a senior person. Your job is to make sure this pipeline moves. So.
And how many new opportunities are you trying to speak with, or new customers are you speaking with each week? Because I know you've been in business a long time. A lot of your business will just be doing reviews, if we're being honest. How are you finding that's balancing between existing customers and your old database?
So basically, what we have done with regard to reviews is most of the reviews can be done through the back office. So they take lots of burden out of me doing the reviews, and they contact the clients, do the reviews, identify changes, and when it comes to advice, they come back to me. And sometimes they come back with some proposed increase of covers. They do the statement of advice, they do the quotes, and they book an appointment, and I'm ready to go and do the sale. So then I give advice. If there's any variation, I get it done back. So it's a seamless operation, and reviews are done, notes are kept. So handling the reviews is not a issue, and the new business side of things, it's moving because the process is set and it follows.
And for a new advisor, a new business getting set up, and you've only got a certain amount of capital to invest in those early stages, what would you get them to prioritize? Would it be bringing in leads? Would it be systems, processes? Like, how would you tackle it with your hindsight view now?
My personal view is, especially to become an advisor, you need to be at least some sort of a hunter. You need to bring your own business, right? So it is very, very important that you network and bring business. So that is part of being an advisor. But if you want to start and grow, it's like building a house, right? You need to have the foundations right. So I always tell the advisors who I talk to, build the foundation first. So my advice is to build the back office or the operational side first. What happens if you go and sign up with a center of influencers that flows you with leads? If you can't do it, you are breaking the relationship. So if you set up your operations, compliance, everything in the right way, it's just a matter of bringing in business. So the problem which I encounter when I talk to advisors is that investment of the capital. So what I suggest, or what I'm thinking is, unless you invest to scale, you're not going to scale. You are going to go back into the problems which I face over a 6-year period. So what we have done is we have built that platform where it's ready, so that you don't need to trial out things now. It's a ready platform. It's ready to scale. You just plug and just go out and do the business.
And just coming back to the $1 Million Roundtable that we mentioned before, it's called $1 Million Roundtable. What do you have to be writing to get into that circle?
I think it's about 115,000 API to get into the initial level of MDRT. If you're focused and if you do the right things, I don't think it's a hard thing at all. I've been writing, being an MDRT top of the table, court of the table for last probably 15 years, and it was effortless.
And the average amount in New Zealand, you hear like figures thrown around about 50K API. What's the absolute top that you've seen in all your dealings with $1 Million Roundtable over the years?
I met a advisor when I was in Dubai last MDRT. He was sitting next to me and he was telling me he had 1,000 MDRTs, so which is probably 115,000 API into 1,000. Man, that is huge. That is huge, and he's a big operator based in Dubai.
That's just unfathomable.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Hope he has a nice party that he throws you.
Oh, yeah. He had a party for about 600 people last time at his home.
Yeah, we're struggling with it, 30 an hour, something, just for a modest barbecue. But
Absolutely.
okay, well, I think we've covered off a lot, and I think there's some really tangible things in there for advisors. Like, what's the next 12 months look like for you in Smart Advisor?
Personally, Smart Advisor is ready to grow. So what we are trying to do is to recruit some good advisors, hunters who can go and do business. And the model which we have is we look after entire thing. We look after the rest. You just go and do business. Same process which I follow, which I only give advice and I don't do anything else. So that's the vision for Smart Advice for the next 12 months.
Fantastic. I just realized that we've left all your stuff on the table here, including the new trail socks. So make sure you get a pair of those.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yes. It looks good.
Yeah, you'd hope they look good and feel good, but yeah, I'm not going to say it's going to improve your advice, but it's not going to hurt. Thanks so much for joining us here today, Sam. I think some of the stuff that you mentioned is really great, and I think some insurance advisors or any mortgage and KiwiSaver investment advisors will certainly get a lot out of this. So appreciate your time once again.
Thanks.